Hey there, welcome to the Movie Review Mom YouTube channel. If this is the first time you found me, yay, finally you're here. And if you're a returning subscriber, yay, thanks so much for coming back. My subscribers already know that my goal is to save you time and money by giving you the scoop on filmmaking quality and content so you can decide. I'm not going to give you any spoilers though. I'm just going to kind of give you a heads up. So first I'm going to give you an overview in a nutshell, and then I'll point out things that I liked, things I didn't like, tips for parents, themes worth talking about if you watch it with other people, funny lines, interesting lines, and we'll finish up with recommendations for other films that are sort of similar that you might also really like if you like this one. All right, so today the movie I'm reviewing is called Here. This dramatic film is now playing in select theaters as well as simultaneously on Fandango at Home, Amazon Prime, and Apple TV. The movie is rated PG-13. It's an hour and 44 minutes long, and my overall movie review mom grade is a B+. So first I want to introduce kind of a featured product that I think that you might really like. Basically, it's Richard Maguire's novel that the movie is based off of. So click in the description below and you'll find a link that'll take you straight there. It's on Amazon. It doesn't cost you any more, but Amazon will send me a few little pretty pennies to thank me for letting you know that it exists. So in a nutshell, the movie reunites the director, the writer, and some of the stars from the movie Forrest Gump. Such a great movie, such as Robert Zemeckis, Eric Roth, Tom Hanks, and Robin Wright. I'm such a fan of all of them. The story is about several families who inhabit the same house over generations and the many moments of their lives. Already, the movie has been nominated for various awards such as Best Time Capsule and Best Intergenerational Film. So, quick tips for parents. Kids are going to be bored, and so might some adults, because it is a really interesting movie. I'll get to that here in just a minute. A baby falls off of an ottoman, which is horrifying, but thankfully looks like it's CGI. Other than that, nobody else gets hurt. I'm trying to think, right? There is some profanity, some alcohol, and talk of a premarital relationship that results in a pregnancy. Some of the themes that are illustrated very well are how time flies, nostalgia, family, aging, marriage, life's ups and downs, procrastination, and living life to the fullest. So here are some of the things I really liked about this film. First of all, Tom Hanks. I'll watch pretty much anything with him in it. He is so fantastic in everything he does, and he is in this as well. Robin Wright also does a really great job. The entire cast truly is terrific. It includes Michelle Dockery from Downton Abbey, Jonathan Harris, Bo Gadsden, Ophelia Lovibond, Kelly Riley, and Paul Bettany. I adore him as well, among many others that are in the movie. Well, not that many others. It is a small ensemble. The de-aging effect and the aging effect in this movie on the characters or the actors is incredible. When we first see Tom Hanks and Robin Wright in the movie as this young couple in love, it looks like they are the same couple that was in Forrest Gump. I mean, they look so young and so great. And then we see them slowly aging to where they are today, and then a little bit beyond, well, quite a bit beyond where they are today. Anyway, it looked amazing. I really like the idea of showing a piece of land and the people who inhabited it over centuries, experiencing life's big and small moments. And that's the crux of this whole film. If you enjoy history, I think that you're going to get a kick out of watching the time periods come and go. It's really fun to see the changing technology, cars, entertainment, music, fashion, and decor inside the house. I've always been fascinated by one location movies, and you have to film really well, and the actors have to do such a great job to compel you to keep watching. And it shows the passage of time all from one room. Really well done. It was really sobering to see the Black father teach his son how to handle the situation if or when he ever got pulled over by a cop. And we see that in dramatic contrast to earlier ages when another family or other families lived in that home and didn't have to deal with that kind of thing. The camera work and the filmmaking is terrific. The entire movie is filmed, as I mentioned, from a camera that stays in one place in one room the entire time, mostly. The movie did a great job balancing sadness with joy, and the ending just brought tears to my eyes. The musical score by Alan Silvestri is so lovely, especially at the very end of the film. It just drips with nostalgia and melancholy. The camera only pans out at the very end of the movie to show us other areas of the house, reminding us that our perspective changes throughout our life. And I thought that the film just definitely interpreted life and change and how our lives are just a blink in the history of the world, and to live them well. Now, I wrote down really only just a couple of things for things that I didn't like. First of all, the timeline goes back and forth in time constantly, which might be confusing at the beginning of the film, but then you quickly understand what's happening. Maybe not as quickly. You might still be going, wait, what? So these are different families, and the time goes back and forth. So it jumps around a lot. So there are frames, like picture frames almost, that come and go on the screen, identifying exactly where something happened in the room. So watch for those little frames, and then you'll see, something happening, and then another family or situation happening in that same frame, and then the frame will shift. It's all still in the same room, but the perspective or the focus changes, which I think is really fascinating. And you might not pick up on that at the very beginning, but that's what's going on. And then not all of the characters and families are given equal time on the screen. And perhaps that represents how long they spent in the house. But the focus is really on Tom Hanks and Robin Wright and the generations that came before and a little bit after as well. Now, whenever I watch movies, I instantly write down the funny lines and the interesting lines that I hear. You can see all of them on my written review at moviereviewmom.com, but I'll share a couple of them with you right now. So for the funny lines, this was a conversation between Kelly Riley and Paul Bettany. So they're a married couple, and she says, they're so full of life. And then he says, yeah, how long they've been married, because she's now old. They're both older, and they're looking at this, younger couple in love. And so you see these young couples in love, and then you see them age, and you see how time kind of wears them down, which is sad, but also true to life, isn't it? Now, for the interesting lines, I wrote down a ton of them. So Robin Wright is talking to her husband, and she says, you always find a reason not to do something. And it's really interesting to watch the different families and which ones are just going for it, which ones are getting just caught up in life and not going for their dreams. And that's a big part of the theme, or themes, because there's several themes in this movie. Richard, who's played by Tom Hanks, says, time sure flies, which is absolutely true. We hear a few other people say that as well. Another line that Tom Hanks says is, all I did was worry about every bleep thing. I guess there's a little bit of profanity. In some insane way, I must have believed that worrying would keep painful things from happening. Isn't that ridiculous? I thought that was a brilliant line and so true. And then Robin Wright at some point says, we did the best we could. And you see these people living their lives, and everybody is doing the best that they can do. Aren't we all, really? We need to have so much more patience with one another and not expect perfection. We're all just figuring all of this out for the first time ever. And then Robin Wright's character is reading from a fortune cookie, and she says, pulls out the fortune cookie, and it says, you will have an adventure. And then she puts it down and says, and what an adventure it has been. And I hope that you feel that way about your life. If it's getting boring and routine, you got to mix it up. You got to look for adventure. It's your job to pull out that bucket list and start checking those things off the list. Now, whenever I watch movies, I instantly think of other films that are sort of similar that I want to recommend. The first one is Forrest Gump. And the reason I want to recommend that, of course, is it has Tom Hanks and Robin Wright in it, and they're fantastic, but also because you see different periods of their lives and what they're doing and how they're solving challenges and problems and embracing their dreams and the things that will help their dreams come true. So it's such a great movie. I haven't seen that. Now, another one that I thought was really interesting is called The Truman Show, starring Jim Carrey. And I'm not going to give you the twist, but there's a really interesting twist. And it's such a profound movie. It's so good, so well done. And then another interesting one is called The Rewrite. Now, by the way, you can click on the link down below and it will, or in the description, and you'll get the links for all three of these movies. So you can check them out in case they flew under your radar and you didn't see them. I hope if you watch this movie that you will enjoy it. Comment down below. Let me know what you thought of it after you watch it. I would love to find out. And if you're a subscriber, then you know I reply to every single comment I ever receive. When you get a minute, run over and visit me on Instagram, or I'm all over everywhere. I've got a Facebook group called Movie Review Mom, and you can find me as Movie Review Mom everywhere, but also as Trina Boyce, where you can learn about my 33 books in bookstores and on Amazon, as well as my online courses, products, and shenanigans. Have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.